because R. Anderson, NC, Shedeur more promised than Dylan, given 0 snaps with the first team. I agree. I knew they would trash 12. You asked for grace for Dylan because he was a rookie. 12 has never played with any of these dudes. The O-line is bad. Where's the 12 grace? You're not going to get any. I told you this. I done been through this I've been through this 55,000 times. People will tell you whatever they want to tell you when they're in power, when they're in charge. If Dylan is in the game, they'll ask for forgiveness. They'll ask for patience. They'll ask for this. Guys, he's just a rookie. Guys, I don't think it was that bad. They got a whole group of people doing that. And you'll sit there and you'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna judge you based on what you do on the football field. Let me judge you, but let me just tell you, this ain't never been about what you do on the football field. It ain't. It's not, because they've told you that they're going to put Dylan in the best position at any time, at all times. He's going to get every excuse. He's going to get every rep. But when the other guy's in, all of that's off the table. And it's frankly, and the crazy part about it is the people that fall into it, all it does is hurt the team. All it does is hurt your evaluation. All it does is it points out to people, you guys really don't know what you're doing. What kind of games are you guys playing? You've played 6 games. What, you going to play Dylan against Vegas too? You going to try them out there? Like, what are you going to do? You're going to play, like, you're going to continue to play him, and every single time he's playing, he's getting every single rep during the week, while the other guy who is supposed to be getting a look or idea of what he is or what he's going to be, that is lost to what? He doesn't get reps. How could you tell me how good a guy is if you don't play with nobody? Come on, man. RJ, coach showed no support for 12 getting in that game. G. Bush, why is everyone like ESPN Cleveland saying there's no reason, there's a reason he's a 5th rounder and he's horrible? He could have been better, yes, but overall showed that he has the skills to do you agree? Well, listen, bro, first and foremost, I mean, I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, Dylan Gabriel has received every rep since he got here, and he showed you nothing. The reality of it is they're dishonest about the situation. I'm going to just be honest with you. There are a lot of people that don't like Shedeur Sanders, or they don't like Shedeur Sanders' father. If Shedeur Sanders threw for 3,000 yards yesterday or today, they still would not say, you know what? Sean King said the best thing in the world. You know what he said? He said Shedeur Sanders is not going to win or lose the starting job in one game. He's not going to lose it in 2 games, 3 games, 4 halves, whatever. As you can tell, the conversation around Shedeur Sanders is not even intellectually honest. I mean, if you got one person that's playing and the other person that's sitting on the sidelines, what did you expect? I mean, you're literally being hamstrung because you don't have rhythm, reps, or whatever. But if you watch this, if you apply the same logic to any other position or any other thing, they'll tell you, oh, well, yeah, obviously young quarterbacks do this and young quarterbacks do that and young quarterbacks and if you listen, they'll say the same thing that they get on Shedeur Sanders about for Dylan Gabriel. He came in at halftime with no reps, no first team rhythm, no cadence, no game plan, and still made throws and still did some things that you can say, I can see it. Well, I see that. Okay. I see you over there doing that. Oh, I like that. But I'm not going to get in no conversation because they told us after 1 game that you can't do that to Dylan Gabriel. They told us after 2 games you couldn't do it. They said after 3 games you couldn't do it. After 4 games, after the bye week and lost to the Jets, they said you couldn't do it. But now it's okay to do it. Now, stop arguing with them folks because they already know you already know what they want to tell you. Bush, can we start talking about the sack record? Myles Garrett might get that sack record tomorrow. And by the way, he's probably the defensive player of the year. He's that good. Please don't talk about trading him. He can show up to practice whenever he wants. And yes, they should have begged him to come back because he dang near kept him in the game this game. Carson Swetchers is the next coming of Luke Kuechly. He has it all as the middle linebacker. They really need to go offensive tackle, wide receiver in the draft. Luke Kuechly, I thought that was high praise, but Carson Swetchers is the defensive rookie of the year. The Cleveland Browns might have the defensive player of the year and the defensive rookie of the year on the same squad. Grant Delpit is playing out of his mind. Devin Bush is playing crazy. Who else? Mason Graham showed up today. He balled out. Isaiah McGuire. Mike Hall Jr. made a couple plays today. Let me just tell you this. The Browns defense is crazy good. They are really good. Riri says the Ravens coach said they study Shedeur for this game. Imagine these teams prepping for you, but your coach won't. But your coach won't. That's kind of wild. Maybe we can get. Maybe if he'd be all right if he can just get some practice. Kind of crazy, right? Camila Reed, 12 played half a game with no first team reps. DG got all the reps and the help and still got sacked in interceptions. Shedeur improved once he finally gets some reps. It's all about, listen, let's just take this into consideration. It's all about whether you're going to be an organization that is going to be serious. This literally is not a serious conversation at this point. It's just not. It's not a serious conversation. Any organization that is within the realm of seriousness, this is why I could not wait to get Kevin Stefanski on the first jet up out of here. Listen, I get an Uber for him. It's because he's handling this like he's not even mature enough to even understand that he's handcuffing his organization. You got people, and because you feel the way you feel, you won't even let him practice. You didn't let him practice in OTA. What is that? What kind of energy is that? You're not actively saying, even if I didn't like the backup quarterback, even if I didn't like him, you're actively saying you won't let your backup quarterback get reps because you just don't want to. And that backup quarterback is going to have to be able to go in and put your best team in the best opportunity to win football games. And what you're telling me is you're not mature enough to give the backup quarterback reps when every single other one of your 31 NFL teams does that regularly. So what you're telling me is you're willing to sacrifice the ability of your team to go out and maximize their ability to win because you have petty thoughts and arguments in your head about who you picked and who you didn't pick. He's not ready to play. How would he be ready if you don't play him? How would he be? The time to get people ready to play is in practice. You know what? Hold on. The time to get people ready to play is in preseason. You didn't play them in preseason? No, the time you get people ready to play is in OTAs, off season, where it's involuntary. The veterans don't, and you didn't do it then. So what tells me is you have no business being a head coach. You just don't. So this is where we come. This is not even a serious conversation. It's just not. The fact that a guy got in a football game and it's your backup quarterback and he hasn't played is crazy. Wyatt Teller said he only heard 12's cadence 2 to 3 times since he's been on the team, and they had to work through that live in the game. Devin the dude, that's the part that is malpractice. It's not serious. The Cleveland Browns do things that it's not serious football. And the fact that we have people that jump on social media and be like, oh my gosh, see, I told you he wasn't good. And you're like, dude, he's hamstringing your team, the one you root for. You think it's cool that the backup quarterback, they don't know the cadence? Come on, man. Come on. Lord of the Drip. We saw Shedeur Sanders prove as the game went on. Give the man a week of prep, and I know we'll see much better performance out of it. I ain't even saying give him a week of prep. I just want to see him to get some practice reps. Not all the reps, like some, like 2. It's crazy to me. Every quarterback in the NFL gives reps with the starters except the Browns. Not bad with no reps. Dylan did nothing at all an entire half. But that's the way we're going to look at it. Lorenzo Carson, thank you. NFL wasted no time chopping up the Shedeur Sanders clip. Oh, you know them is coming. Them is coming. 8,000 people, wherever you're at, hit the like button. I don't know if y'all on. By the way, I just put, you know what I did? I can't even, so basically the way it monetized, can't monetize my stream if I put it on like other platforms like Twitter and Facebook. But the reason I put it on today is because I had to come talk my talk. I want nobody to be thinking G. Bush was ducking people today. Shedeur didn't throw for 3,000 and G. Bush. No, we pulled up. So I ain't getting paid for this stream. But here's what we gonna do. Just know we pulled up. We listen. We play no games. Let's see. Courtney White says, "Do you think Shedeur will start next week? How long concussion protocol?" Listen. Apparently, Kevin Stefanski's already said that if Dylan Gabriel passes concussion protocol, that he's gonna play. So we'll see how that works out against the Las Vegas Raiders. We'll see. I think that's a winnable game. And Kevin Stefanski's like, no. I ain't about to give no winnable game to Shedeur Sanders. Dylan going to be right back out here, ready to go. We'll see how it works out for him. English Banks. Y'all been screaming for him to get in mid-game, knowing he had no reps. He get in, play garbage. Now it's the reps. Truth is, both are garbage. Here's the thing about it, English Banks. Because he got no reps, do you think that that's a got you moment? Let me ask you something. If I put you, let's do something like no firefighting. You're supposed to go fight a fire today. It's kind of a hard job. They don't even put you in the truck. You don't even know how the hose work. None of that. You just go out there and you get on the fire truck. Life or death now, right? Well, you knew you wanted to be a firefighter. You said you wanted to be a firefighter, English Banks, right? Well, you knew fires happen. Does that make it easier or better? Or does that make you better at your job? The fact that you knew you want to be a firefighter, you was there? No, it doesn't. Work comes with preparation, meticulous preparation. Let me tell y'all how this works. Let me break this down for all the novices out there. Let me break this down because I think it's a lot of armchair quarterbacks out here that probably ain't never played nothing in their life, ever. Never won nothing, never played nothing. Let me just break this down. These are professional athletes at the highest level, top 1% in the world. They are practicing in Baltimore the same way you are in Cleveland. The Baltimore Ravens are practicing, watching film, getting ready to play, lifting weights, doing everything. Not only are they doing that against the Cleveland Browns, they've been doing that in repetition all year. All year. Reps, practice reps, film work, all that good stuff. They've been doing it since the beginning of the season and in the offseason. So when you get in a football game, you are going against people who are the top 1% in the world, in the universe, faster than you've seen. Do you know what the speed of the game looks like when you've been sitting on the sideline and you just go in? And oh, we went in, I ain't played since last game. We ain't played since. I haven't played in a game since August. And when it was crunch time and I could have been in the game against the Rams and had an opportunity to lead a fourth quarter drive, they took me out of that game. So I don't even know any of that, right? Meanwhile, you are asked to go in without game planning, no protection scheme. And by the way, certain plays ain't even in the playbook. Certain plays ain't even in there. So now they limited to the amount of plays that they can run. What are we going to run in this situation? They don't know the cadence. They don't even know the protection scheme, right? You played in one preseason game and ain't got no reps since then. And in practice, they don't even go that fast. The speed of the game is lightning quick. Yet and still, you're saying he's trash and garbage because what? He didn't play? He ain't seen no reps? But you know that, English Banks. You know that. You understand that. But you sitting here talking about, well, he's garbage and you know it. No, no one knows it because at the end of the day, this is not even an intellectual conversation because when you want to see somebody do something, you give them an opportunity, you give them repetition, you put them in the best position to make plays. You let them throw to receivers. You let them try to come out here and understand what the game plan is. And if you're not doing that, you're not putting them in the best position to play and you're not trying to win. And at this point, if you're not doing it as a football coach, you're not trying to win. So we're not going to continue to go back and forth about somebody who's not trying to win. Mary S. G, did you see 12 post-game interviews? It was telling. This was the first time throwing the ball to Judy and the receiver. That was nasty work. I mean, they know that. Now we know. It's evident. Now we know it's evident. But like I told you before, let me just give y'all this work too. Let me tell you something. I said something on my last podcast, my last live stream. You ain't going to come out here and you ain't going to cook the NFL in 1 week. You're not going to come out here and get you a Cinderella story and come out here and toast to the Big Gipper and I came out here off the bench dry and throw it for 4,000. It's not how the game works. It's not how the game works. It's all about putting one step in front of the other and continue to work and continue to grind and continue to do that. To do that, you're going to have the reps. You're going to have the opportunity. And here's the thing. Until they give him a legitimate opportunity to put himself in his best foot forward, I'm not going to be sitting here putting all the burden on Shedeur Sanders when he needs to have the opportunity to have something where, hey, I can even throw the ball. Let my guys hear my voice. And I'm asking for the same opportunity that they give Dylan Gabriel. And until he gets the same exact opportunity which is to practice, which is to play, which is to have a game plan, which is to see some reps, then the conversation is null and void. It's null and void, bro. If you think you can play the NFL position and come out there and throw the football dry out of a bed and a half, stop playing. Come on now. We're not gonna play that. We're not gonna play them games. They can't. John Byers. They'll have the same cut, copy, and paste takes from the Rams game. Wake me up when 12 starts for the Raiders. Half these folks don't care about ball. Misery just loves company. Hey man, look, you can have the same takes, Rams takes, but the same takes for Dylan Gabriel. They'll tell you why you need to just calm down. Dylan's okay. Just give Dylan the chance. Bush, he flashed more than he did. Facts. Listen, he throwing the football downfield, right? Right? He had him in contention. Matter of fact, some say, well, you get a 50-50 ball with Gage Labradine in the back of the end zone. They could have been caught for a touchdown. Jimmy Haslam called at halftime. Jimmy called at halftime and told them it was 12 time. I'll be interested to see what happened this week. Thank you for always standing on truth. Today, Mike showed exactly what implicit bias looks like. Expecting Shedeur to be better than Dylan when Shedeur has no preparation and Dylan has had all the opportunity. The reality of the situation, that's not an honest conversation. The honest conversation is one person ain't played and one person done played the whole time. I done lived in a world where this is just, let me tell you this. Here's how it happens. 90% of your success is based on what it is that somebody believes in you. 90% of what you do is based on, are you being put in a position that you can succeed and show what you can literally do? You know how many times you see people put in a position, get drafted to certain places, and then all of a sudden, you're like, dang, why don't that person get no tick? And all of a sudden, it's another dude that ain't half as good as getting all kind of minutes. You're like, but bro, I thought you said you didn't want turnovers. Oh, they're going to make turnovers. That person's okay. I thought you said you was trying to get people to throw downfield. No, they don't matter. He don't got to. You see what I'm saying? And if you got people, just watch. Listen, I was waiting for the post-game show. People say, you probably was trying to hide. No, I'm not trying to hide nowhere because I've been 1,000% correct the whole time. I said this. I want to see a progression from week to week. Why would I want Dylan Gabriel to come out at a game? Leave him in a football game. I don't want Shedeur Sanders to go in the football game. I wanted him to have a runway where he's not looking over his shoulder so he can prepare, so I can get an honest assessment whether Dylan Gabriel can play in this league or not. That was me, the Duke and knee-jerk, who said that weeks ago, right? Weeks ago against the Minnesota Vikings in London. We get to one half and people talk about, yeah, I told you he was a fifth-round pick. They never wanted no honest conversation anyway. They wasn't about no football. That's not a football conversation. I don't know what you're doing. Culture wars. I don't know what it is. You don't like Prime. I don't know. I've never seen people be that in like extra when it comes to like not liking another grown man. Y'all might as well just go fight. Like, I don't know what I'm confused by this. Like, you shouldn't have that much animus. But having a conversation back and forth about whether somebody can play after a half when they came in the football game is crazy work. It's the nastiest work at the highest level. Kevin needs to go. He's playing a dangerous game. Shedeur could get hurt. Head coach job is to prepare his players. He's not into that right now. Maybe he's into something else. Because I know it ain't getting wins. B-Dub official. Your first game is against All-Pro Kyle Hamilton and Roquan Smith with no first-team reps. If this isn't collusion, then I don't know what it is. I don't think it's collusion, the fact that Dylan Gabriel went out of the football game. I think it's crazy the fact that your backup quarterback just ain't getting first-team reps at all. And your offensive line don't even know what the cadence sound like. McNuggets didn't understand how his comment directly affects African-Americans having to work twice as hard to receive the same opportunity. Hey, this ain't even twice as hard. Here's the thing, too. I think McNuggets, and I'll say this, McNuggets actually like Shedeur Sanders, right? McNuggets actually want to see Shedeur Sanders play. But I agree, this is the part that comes with the premise. This is what happens when you are browbeat over the head and you start to continue to keep saying a narrative that ain't true. Because what starts to happen is people start to believe that the narrative and that you have to outperform what the narrative is. If you just take Dylan Gabriel and you take the names off the back of the jerseys and you said Dylan Gabriel won in the football game, mind you, let's understand this. Watch the runway. Joe Flacco is more accomplished than everybody else on the Cleveland Browns roster. Yet and still, when Joe Flacco struggled, they set Dylan Gabriel up for success. You know what they did? At the end of the game against the Baltimore Ravens, who came in that football game? Dylan Gabriel. In mop-up time, They brought him in, put him in the game, let him hear the cadence, walk down the field, let him see some success, and got a touchdown. Boom. The very next week, guess what? They brought him back in again. Dylan Gabriel, fourth quarter, bring him back in, get his feet wet, get his confidence going, right? So then he's seeing it. He's understanding. He's tasting it. He understands. They hear his cadence, right? But he'd already been receiving first-team reps since he got here. OTAs, when he was drafted, he was first team. When Kenny Pickett was here, guess what? He was receiving first-team reps. When Kenny Pickett left, he got all of his reps. And when he got traded. So it's disingenuous for people to even have that kind of conversation. And it's actually counterproductive to arguing with them folks, because the burden then becomes Shedeur Sanders has to somehow outleap. He has to be in your mind. The bar is in your mind. Is he worthy of receiving? That's always been the problem. Instead of the competition being like, let me go out there, give him the reps, let's see if he can play. It's become he has to earn those reps. One person didn't earn those reps. One person was given those reps. Those reps were given to him based upon the affinity of the head coach, rightly or wrongly. So why am I going to have to earn the reps when one person was given the reps? Not based on merit, not based on anything above. It was based upon the coach liked him. So if now we're talking about I'm the backup quarterback and that position denotes that I need to get those reps because the other position I'm in as the next guy up, and you still don't give them to me, then now that becomes malpractice, because now you're holding your team back. You're not just holding yourself back. You're holding the whole team back. Squizzer, the Shedeur hate is crazy out of line. He still had us in a position to tie, maybe win. He did his best with zero work, zero reps. Keep it fair. They're not going to keep that fair. Stop that. You know that. I'm so angry. This was a football malpractice. His first reps with the first team was in a you know what game. The media killed Allen Iverson for decades over not practicing in more of an individual team sport. This is what setting up folks to fail looks like on purpose is incompetence. It's not a general like, and the fact of the matter is they'll probably tell you, well, you know what? I know it isn't fair. Like, it's like somebody being like, yeah, you basically, it's think about this. It's like somebody punching you in the face, sucker punching you, and you got to get up and finish the match. And you dizzy, you then lost 2-3 teeth. It was an out of bounds shot. And you're going to be like, well, I know it was unfair, but I'm just saying, you got to finish. Stop. We know that. We appreciate you, another Skywalker. As always, we appreciate that. Dylan's head better be okay, because he may have taken his last snap. I think Jimmy pulling the plug on the supercomputer, 12-time wrist up. I'm very interested to see what this looked like. This is Kevin Stefanski's fault. You gave quarterback 2 number 1 reps despite him, but your quarterback 1 got hurt, and all these people that is praying his downfall is crazy. Listen, come on, man, guys. Let me just tell y'all this too. There's a lot of people. They may say they be Browns fans and they be trying to win. They don't be no Browns fans be trying to win. They be saying, we want the best people available to play. They don't be one of the best people available to play. Let's keep it buck. Keep it a buck. Let's keep it real. There are some people that is waiting to just go ahead and throw that hate in there. Yeah, I'm waiting to see Shedeur fail. You know why? Because he's popular. Some people don't like him for other reasons. We're not even going to get into them. See? We're not even going to get into them. Deneric Williams. How many third downs were converted before 12 got in? None. Y'all see how competent 12 look in a 2-minute drill with the first team? Does 12 need to speed up his clock? Just give him a couple of weeks. The best way to speed up your clock, Deneric, is actually practicing, proficiency, give you an opportunity to work on your skill set. G, you have the gift of discernment. No BS slides by you. Listen, Intel plays. This is an easy one. We got to see firsthand that like, there's a lot of people that don't like the fact that the stadium picked up. There's a lot of people that don't like the fact that people was really excited that if Shedeur Sanders plays against Las Vegas, is the most excited I'm gonna be all year. And a lot of Browns fans feel the same way too. But the fact that you got people that's writing you off after a half a play when the other dude that was playing didn't play well in the first half is wild work. And he been getting reps. But we know where that comes from. But you're not gonna get me all out my framework. What they want you to do is argue with them. See, they want you to give you all that energy. And to be truthful, you're not going to get all that energy because this was never a general. This was not a conversation that was even remotely based on football. What you're basing on is headcanon, narrative, bias, and extraness. I'm not going to argue with you. If you think Shedeur Sanders can't play after a half a game, well, that means you don't know who can play and who can't. Why am I arguing with you? Because I can't even tell you if you can play or not after a half a play. And I done played way more football than you. See, Shedeur had a great presser, great attitude. Talked about how he likes to study his receivers. He was very mature. He knows he was set up and still confident. I'm praying for him. And listen, Keisha, why would he be upset? You know where they got you, right? They got Deshaun Watson on the same thing. I always find it funny. So if Deshaun Watson played and Joe Flacco looked the same as Deshaun Watson, why there ain't no Watson, there ain't no Joe Flacco hate? Why? Because we naturally assume that that Joe Flacco could play. It was just in a bad situation, right? But why, if the shoe's on the other foot, it ain't a bad situation. It was you. See, we pick and choose all the time what we want to do. Why would Shedeur Sanders feel bad that he was put in a position where he never practiced and you expect him to come out here against the Baltimore Ravens and ball out? And he still made plays and he still did his thing. He still had some plays where it was better looking than what I've seen over the last 6 weeks. Why would you? They want you to do that. Look at his attitude. Look at this. He can't have that. That attitude is not going to get it done. He understands that I'm not, come on. When the backup quarterback comes into the game, how many teams is expecting to win when the first team quarterback come in and get hurt at halftime? How many teams is expecting to then come on and get 13, 14, 15 points? None of them are, because the backup quarterback didn't get no reps that week. The backup quarterback, the game plan is for the starter. Why would he? See, they want you to do that. That's not what the burden is at. Kevin Stefanski has to put Shedeur Sanders in a position. Shedeur Sanders should not have to overcome everything that the offense is not in Kevin Stefanski. And so you want him to beat Stefanski, the offensive line, the wide receivers, the no reps, and you want him to beat the Ravens? It's not going to happen. John Cena, my time is here. My time is now. Appreciate you, Kurt Davis. They need to stack these receivers because they cannot win their matchup one-on-one, and fire that wide receiver coach. Shedeur will be fine. Shedeur will be all right when they get an opportunity. And I'm going to start grading when he gets a fair opportunity. Like Mel Kiper said, he'll do well, even if he struggles in the first game after 7 years in the league. Lamar's 2 interceptions, 4 sacks stopped the fluidly. By the way, Lamar Jackson played bad today, and that's what every rep and the whole offense built around him. But you think the dude that in his first game and got all, stop. You have to fire Kevin and get this stench out of here. Yeah, listen, Kevin, yeah. Maple Cross says, I trust God fully. I've been in situations where people tried to tear me down, but I focused on myself being the best I could and was blessed beyond measure. I believe in the same for Shedeur Sanders. And let me tell you this, by the way, 196 people in here. Let me just let y'all know something. I've told people this before. The only thing that you can do in life is wherever God puts you at, you bloom. He may put you in a situation where it might not even be the right situation for you. But you know what you do? You keep your attitude together. You keep your mind together. You put your best foot forward, and you work on your craft wherever you at. There's going to be people at different places. They ain't going to like you. Matter of fact, they might not even want to see you even be there. But let me just tell you something. Just like Baker Mayfield. You think Baker Mayfield feel good where he at right now? Sure he does. Starting quarterback of a team. They like him. Maybe it wasn't his time in Cleveland. But the Cleveland Browns need to understand something. How many quarterbacks you going to let go through here that you see on the other side and say, wow, why that person doing well over there? Baker Mayfield, Joe Flacco's of the world, Jacoby Brissett even throwing the ball really well. Ask yourself, how many times is you going to let people walk through your camp and not identify them, and you keep this guy around? Maybe it's an opportunity for Shedeur here, or maybe it's not where God will have him be at. Either way, what I'm talking and how I'm talking is relevant. Sometimes it don't be your time here. It don't be your place. Sometimes he do stuff to keep you ready to go right now, and then you bloom somewhere else. I done worked for a lot of different companies. Didn't necessarily mean that's where I ended at. John Show, I think Shedeur. Did Haslam put Gabriel in? I don't know if he put him in there, man. Emmanuel Johnson, we appreciate you being a member. People say you can't judge 8 and 6 games, but you can judge 12 and 2 quarters. Stop. People talk backups in the NFL, but those quarterbacks are vets. Miles now said 12 put the loss on himself, and he has seen 12 make big plays and believes in him. Bro, listen, I'm looking forward to having them conversations. I need a bunch of people to out themselves coming up this week. You know it's coming. Please tell me you was biased the whole along. Please tell me you was a hater all along. Let me know you was a hater so I can stop talking to you. Because if you, after 2 quarters and no reps, have come to the conclusion he cannot play, you need to tell me I don't need to have no more conversations with you about no football. Because you telling me all you want to know about what you feel about football. Because if you could tell after 2 quarters, but you couldn't tell after 6 and still want to continue to run, see, I'm waiting for him. You one of them 2-quarter guys. Hey, what the 2? I need to see all the 2-quarter people show up on Monday because we trying to get you off the books. We want to have real conversations about play, not the 2-quarter guys. The guys that were waiting. Shedeur Sanders said he needs to. Said he needs to know how his receivers move. That's a prerequisite for the position, Ms. Bell. Yeah, maybe we don't need to know that in Cleveland. But where were the quick screens and see? Here's the problem, RJ. The game plan is already in. See, a lot of people don't know that. The game plan is already in. The game plan was in for what Dillon Gabriel wanted to do and how it was supposed to move. Now, at halftime, you don't even have the benefit of having a 15 scripted play drive to get your guy going. Now you in scatter mode. You got a this is the first time Tommy Reeston called plays. This is a second game calling plays. Look at the malpractice here. Watch this. Look at the malpractice here. Kevin Stefanski, for the last 2 years, turns his playbook over in the middle of the year. You know what that does? That means Tommy Rees has no say in route concepts, no say in protections, no anything. You put in what you felt, and now you're going to tell me, here, call the plays? But on top of that, you got a rookie quarterback who's the backup, who you haven't given reps since August. Rookie play caller, second game. First start, halftime, and you got to go, RJ, Tommy Rees is like, this ain't my playbook. I didn't create this. I didn't create this start to finish. I didn't come up with the run concepts or the blocking concepts. I'm running somebody else's stuff with a quarterback who can't get no reps. Maybe I would have told him what we would have ran if he would have, see, you see how it worked? I'm just talking. Nah, I'm not going to do that. Frank, DG not doing that. Let me just tell you, I don't believe in that. Dillon Gabriel is not faking. Dillon Gabriel wants to play, and I don't put fake injuries on nobody. Dillon Gabriel got a hit, and he went out. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and it was a tough hit. Dillon Gabriel knows Shedeur Sanders is behind him. It'll be the dumbest thing in the world for him to come out of the game and give Shedeur Sanders an opportunity to dice up the Ravens and become the hero, because he's probably not going back in. So I don't agree with that. The John show. I think Shedeur was put in from a call from the higher up. I don't think we'll see Dillon again. We'll see what he's going to say. But this is tough to go back. It's because what you're going to see is it's tough to go back now. If you go back to Dillon Gabriel, here's the reality of it. If you go back to Dillon Gabriel and he struggles or doesn't play well, people are going to say, what is the point? You won't give Shedeur Sanders an opportunity even to see if he can play. So listen, play Dillon Gabriel until you're done playing him, and then stop the games. Haters call facts excuses, low intelligence. Listen, they wasn't trying to hear what you were saying anyway. You think they listened to facts to begin with? We appreciate you, my guy, Carlton Falconer. Emmanuel Johnson. Also, people need to understand this game plan was made for a 5'9" lefty quarterback who can't throw downfield. Why do we say trading Flacco was crazy? Why do you think we say trading Flacco was crazy work? The game plan was already into. She says DG had taken 343 first-team snaps this season, not even counting all of his weekly practice reps, 174 passes. 12 couldn't get 1 rep. Coaching negligence. You have to prepare your guys. You're correct. If you mean to tell me he is supposed to come out, if he could come out, matter of fact, if he was able to come out and lead that drive, based on not getting no reps, they should have fired the coach at halftime. They should have just said, you get on the bus. Because if he could do that against the Baltimore Ravens at halftime, stop. Camila Reed, even Mary Case called Stefanski out on it, not giving 12 in the press conference, and he mumbled as usual, no straight answers. You can't do that. Listen, this doesn't stand and sit on Shedeur Sanders. This stands and sits on Kevin Stefanski's shoulders. The fact that you said, and the fact that we sit here and look at that is wild. That is fireable everywhere. He is not, listen, I wouldn't let him coach my high school team. I would not let him next to a high school program doing the stuff he do. And he think it's cute. Like you about to get fired and you thought that was cute. You thought it was cool the fact that you don't give him reps. It's malpractice, man. 5-22 and still has a job. Nasty work. I would have been moved on from him, man. Neither Jay. I wish Shedeur got better tonight overall, but the last drive shows me what we all been saying about his talent. The fact that it was really impressive, to be honest with you. The fact that you can go out there and move around and make some of those moves and not even be got the speed of the game is crazy work. Just imagine if they actually gave him a football to throw to people. Maybe why doesn't Cleveland want to win? Why wouldn't Kevin Stefanski prepare his backup? Kevin Stefanski, no, his job is not safe. Royce, I appreciate you, my guy. No, his job's not safe. And the reason why Cleveland doesn't, it's not the fact that they don't know how to win, though don't want to win. They have no clue what winning looks like. We haven't won a division since 1989. And what we do is we've been shouldered and we've been told that this guy is a great coach and he's going to get us to the promised land. And listen, fellas, people, until you are in like one of these other cities, Brian Dable just got fired. His offense is 90,000 times better than Kevin Stefanski's. They actually picked Jackson Dart instead of Dylan Gabriel, and he still got fired. This guy's hanging around, not giving backup quarterbacks reps. In what world is this cool? What world? I'm just trying to get at it. Stefanski is a dirty coach. Credibility, honor goes away with how you treat a player. No reps, throwing Shedeur in like he's an intentional is intentional and disgusting. Last King of Scotland, 12 is a Bronny James of the NFL DEI pick. Last King of Scotland. I don't know. Did you watch the movie? By the way, beware of anybody who says DEI because that means they are making fun of diversity, equity, and inclusion. I don't know what bad thing could you have about diversity, equity, and inclusion. That denotes that you do not like diversity, equity, or inclusion. So I always find it funny that people that be talking about DEI stuff like it's funny. It's not. Joseph Johnson, Kevin is committing coaching malpractice by not letting his team for success. It is his responsibility to prepare all the players for success. This is fireable. Kevin gotta go. Joseph Johnson, he seems to be proud of the fact that he's just not giving his backup. I don't understand it. Payne the Savage, the pass to Gage in the end zone and the pass to Fannin was 2 throws. We haven't seen Dylan Gabriel making 6 throws. His talent is there. All he needs is chemistry and some reps. I think Dylan made a nice throw over the seam play a little bit too today. But yeah, he showed some pocket stuff. I think he showed his ability. I think what you're starting to get to see him do is, and this is going to be great. By the way, we just don't do this. If you guys are interested, we do film breakdown every Wednesday. So obviously, this is going to be a great opportunity. Put the link in there. Do the join button. We'll put the link in there. We got it in there. We got it in there. We got it in there. You hit the join button, and guess what? We'll do film breakdown. We're going to get to see Shedeur Sanders throw the football. So we'll know how he did. We'll know what plays he need to get better on. We'll see what some of the things he did well, and we'll look at it from that perspective. See, over here, we just don't talk. We actually break down film. Speaking of, coming up on Tuesday, make sure you pull up. Josina Anderson will be in the building. Members only. We'll continue to do that as well. So, Barbershop, we giving content out left and right. Make sure you pull up. Let's go to John Shaft says, quarterback, I practiced with first team reps since camp July. Quarterback B, first team reps with the first team in third quarter on November 16th. Shedeur will be fine. First contact since Alamo Bowl. He'd be all right. I don't know why. This wasn't even, why you think people say it? Like, if I want to see him play and I want to see what he do, I'm going to give him a runway to play and practice and get his mind together so he can go out there and play well. Jay Money, Shedeur was ready for the press conference. It was authentic. It was tactical. All your takes have been spot on. I appreciate you, Jay Money, 1974. Go out there. Listen, bro, it's his first opportunity to play. That's what he's supposed to be like. He's supposed to come in here and say, look, this is where I need to get. This is where I need to go. He got his first taste of action. He got his first bumps and bruises. And let me tell you something, to be able to come out there like that in that type of game says a lot. because he made some plays. Jeremy Augustin. It's evident that Kevin didn't prepare Shedeur the way he did Dylan. Again, he's the Dylan Gabriel of coaching. And boy, you right again. Made by live or made by love. I like that. Made by love. I'll go with that. Gets an opportunity to practice during the game. That's crazy work. Crazy. It's 10,000 people in here. That's even crazier. Just saw all the 12 reps from today. One bad sack, one bad throw, needs to stop drifting in the pocket. However, that's a great showing considering 0 reps since he arrived. 12 is better than 5, and it's not close. Don Peasy, I agree perfectly with your assessment. He took a bad sack. He had a bad throw. And I think the throw was Kyle Hamilton baited him on that one. And the drifting, he did need to stop drifting in the pocket. I think that's one of the things, the biggest things that I will say. If I was a quarterback coach, I would say, listen, it's okay to take a 5-yard sack rather than a 14-yard one. It's okay to take the 5 or 4-yard sack than the 12 and a half, right? I'll agree with that. But other than that, he showed some stuff. He showed some stuff in there. Matt Perry Thomas. Shedeur is surgical with his precision, so he needs to know and understand anticipation of his wide receivers. He was thrown out there with strangers today. I've seen it. But his first 2 passes were nice. Cold and underscore August Fever. I think FPV. It's crazy how they said 12 did not have any pop and zip on his passes. I saw he had plenty of that in the little game playing time he got. Yeah, I don't know where they got that from. That's kind of wild. Kind of nasty work. John Shaft, earliest Dylan could be cleared to play is Saturday in concussion protocol. First team reps all week for Shedeur Sanders, 12. I don't know about that, but we're going to see. Let's see. J Money, this was a plan for Stefanski and Gabriel came up with while eating last night fondue in robes in private after watching The Notebook again. Hey, J Money, you crazy. The longer they keep the lion caged, the louder roar we get once he was released. Watch Matt Perry Thomas. We appreciate you again, man. Wraith's Blade. Thanks for the super chat. M. Anderson. 12 about to be light Las Vegas ass up next Sunday. Mark my words. Fire some fancies, corny self ASAP. Appreciate the good content, and we all got your back always. Hey, man, listen, I appreciate y'all. You know, I was delivering. G. Bush, yet. I knew he's hiding. Ain't nobody hide. We up in here. Dan Juras. Never chatted about never chatted you before, G. Bush. But if anyone who uses DEI as an insult, sincerely and embarrassed YouTube dude, carry on, GB. That's crazy. I don't know what happened to our country. Like diversity, equity, and inclusion is like that's a jab. That's something you proud of? Come on, man. DEI is the United States of America. That is what we are. That's what we are about. We are a melting pot. That is what makes our country great. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is what the United States is compared to Russia or North Korea. Brock Purdy did it. He was a third stringer. They earned the backup position, then got in mid-game and start ripping defenses apart. No excuses. All right, man, let me see. Let's see. All right, let's see. Let's see how this works. I like to see. Let's see. Brock Purdy. Let's see. Can we look this up? Let me see. Let me find his name. Brock Purdy stat. Let me look at it because I want to be clear about who Brock Purdy is, and maybe you might be lying. Maybe you might be truthful. Let's go to Stat Muse. Where you go? Irregular season. Brock Purdy. He started in 2022. We looked that up. So, okay, Brock Purdy's first game he ever played. Let me look this up because I just want to be clear. Let's do this. Okay. I should be stopped doing this, but you know, I just like to see big dab king. I want to give you your money's worth, big dog. You got a whole $9 up here. I'm gonna give you your money's worth. Here we go. So Brock Purdy, this is he started. So why you lie like that, bro? Brock Purdy did it. And he was the third stringer. Well, apparently, my guy, Brock Purdy started in 2022. His first game that he got in was 10-23. The San Francisco 49ers played the Kansas City Chiefs. They lost the game 44-23. Brock Purdy was 4-9 for 66 yards and no touchdowns and 1 interception. Is that what you're talking about? He then came back the next game, and he didn't play the next game. So you telling me that Brock Purdy balled out in his first game? He didn't ball out in his first game. As you can see, he pretty much played the same game Shedeur Sanders played. Now he came back the next week in 12-4, and he was 25 of 37 for 210. He still threw an interception, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. 210 wasn't balling really. 5.7, right? Did he get sacked? He got sacked 3 times for 26 yards. I don't think that those 2 games were balling, Big King. This is why stats and this is why receipts are available. So I think you need to retract that statement. He was not balling his first game. As a matter of fact, the next game he played, he was 16 of 21. He only threw for 185. The next game against the Seahawks, he was 17 of 26, 217. Where's all these up top? You know what? Where's all these crazy stat games that you said? This is why. Dylan Gabriel is a lefty. That also affects the drop from 12. You are correct. Rates Blade, I understand we need to pretend we ain't tanking, but obviously are. What do you think the next steps should be? Well, my next steps will be to get the coach up out of here, but that looked like that ain't happening. The next step should be, hey, let's give Shedeur Sanders an opportunity to see what he can do against the Las Vegas Raiders. Travis, those who crucify Shedeur Sanders after a quarter and a 16th, but want to give Dylan Gabriel more of a look after 8 games, eat lead for sport, lead for sport. That's crazy. Lead is tough. Janice Page Thompson, nephew, all right. All the sure haters, stand down. We built for this. I don't even know why it would even be no hate coming from. Elo Genesis, thank you so much for the super chat. Lady V 1960 Scott, you became a member. Thank you. Welcome to the family. Don Giroux, YouTube means white. It just wouldn't let me say that. Quano D, thank you so much. If Stefanski can coach, then so can I. You are correct. Otis says 12 flash tonight. He didn't play great, but getting thrown in there against the Baltimore defense in November with no reps, all with the ones, I didn't expect much. Get him coached up, run what he like, and he'll shine. I agree on that, man. Brazil says I expect hate from them, but you sellouts that look like Shedeur hating on them with all that optics and the facts should be ashamed of yourselves. Well, you know good and well. It's always a couple of them. It's always a couple, right? Andrew Hawkins. We haven't won our division since the Cold War, by the way. By the way, it was still East Berlin and West Berlin at the time. The Berlin Wall hadn't fallen yet. By the way, the Berlin Wall fell in 1991. Yeah. Jersey fishing. And that's with a great team and the 49ers coach. Facts. See how you just debunk stuff? Brock Purdy did it. Yeah, he was 4-9 in the L his first game. Boy, I didn't think I had to give them the receipts today. Miss Bell said, they ain't ready, G. Bush. No BS here. Facts only. Listen, see how, Miss Bell, you see how you just pulled them up casually? No, we're not going to do that here. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that here. Nah. But what we is going to do is do 10,000. You thought we was folding? No. Make sure you catch me tomorrow. UCSS Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. We will be ready to go. We will be breaking this down. We will be getting to it. You know, Jay going to be in the building. Bull going to be in the building. Jason Lloyd's going to be in the building. We ready to see. It's going to break the record. Make sure y'all pull up. Shedeur Sanders, first victory. It'll be tomorrow, hopefully, because, you know, they'll probably say, you know what, give him some more time. He probably needs to get some moves and some starts. We'll see what they say. But as far as his first game on the field, the Browns lose today, 20-16. We got one more in here. DG was determined to have a concussion, so the loss could not be blamed on him. Wanted to stop the slide. Shedeur Sanders didn't know he was playing. Now, Lula, I was going to say that I believe that Dylan Gabriel, listen, anybody who hurt, I'm going to tell you, they tell me they hurt. He a competitor. I have no reason to believe that Dylan Gabriel would not be a competitor. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully he's fine and he gets well soon, and we'll see how it plays out this week. Well, we appreciate the super chat. With that being said, you never know where G. Bush might show up, radio, television, or internet. But if you want the fresh cut on sports, you always got to be watching the Barbershop. With that being said, the Browns lose tonight in Shedeur Sanders' debut. We'll see how it gets done this week. Make sure you watch us this week and pull up Wednesday. You ain't going to miss that film review. Hit the join button, hit the like button, and we'll get you together. Have a great rest of your evening. And as always, like I always say, go Browns.